Hello, you are on the jazz station. Well, frankly speaking, it's not because you are on the Wrike club station. And today we're celebrating 20 years, 20 years of Agile. And we're celebrating it with some strange activity, maybe strange, maybe fun, we'll see. And just because I was trying to find some free, non strict licensed music like for quizzes, whatever, but turns out that everything is under heavy license. So we will play guitar, pardon. If you have some comments on like what is happening, what's going on, you can post them, and you should post them in YouTube, and we will see them. So, and what else? Be nice, like code of conduct and all these things. This is really important. That's it. So our guest today, and I will talk about what we're going to experience today in a few minutes. And our first guest today is Elia Schubik. He is a vice president of the engineering at Wrike. Hi, Ilya.
Hey guys, Evgeny, great to see you. Great to see everyone online, out of the comfort of everybody's home. So we're not sure what this event would look like. Let's see. Evgeny mentioned it's informal, full of jokes and funny use cases. So let's go for it. If couple maybe before I hand things over, a couple things about Wrike. If you guys don't know it, it's the collaborative work management tool that we are all trying to improve continuously and make it better for everyone who uses it. So yeah, that's me. That's right.
Yeah, of course, vice president of engineering cannot be vice president without slight and gentle advertisement of the product. And our second guest is, let me remove this, is Marian Kaminishtek.
Hey guys.
Am I good in pronouncing names?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And Marian is a vice president again, but another company, Mews.
Yeah, I'm almost the president as well. Not gonna do any marketing. I think most of people is aware of what this Mews about in our Czech territory. So looking really forward to talk about your crazy use cases here, because I got sort of tired of all the formality in terms of Scrum. So let's see how that goes.
Let's see. And our last but not least, and maybe the best in terms of like beard, is Gil. And Gil Goldman is an Agile engineering manager at Socialbakers.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, to those of you who don't know me, like Evgeny said, I'm an engineering manager at Socialbakers. And to those of you who do know me, hi, guys.
Okay, gentlemen, today we are going to fight. Be nice to each other, but rules are really strict. First of all, you, our watchers, our viewers, please go to the, I will show you in a second. I will show you, it should be right here. You should go here. It's ahaslides.com/agile. It's like a mix of Agile and roulette, Agile. It's not a promotion of any like brands, that help you with the beard. Yeah. And please go there and join. Yeah, we'll see one, maybe two. It would be a bit sad if we will have only two people. But we're here to make fun of each other, not the audience. Again, here's the ahaslides.com/agile. And the QR code is on the screen. By the way, meanwhile, while people are joining, could you guys maybe, I don't know, Ilya, tell a little bit about your experience with the Agile and Scrum and all these things?
Sure.
How many years ago?
So, probably not 20 years ago. That's that would have been a stretch for me. But I think first we started to roll out Scrum in my first company or not the first company, but one of the companies about, I would say 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, it was we were trailblazing through all the rejections and PRDs and FRDs and everything connected with the massive plans that everybody was expecting the engineering team or teams to provide and generate before we can actually start doing something. So this was my experience. This was the start of my experience, but to me, I think the biggest wow moment when all the stakeholders on the business or product side, they were like, okay, that really works. Like after countless hours of kind of educating them of what the increments are, or how you could actually create something shippable, and changing that mentality was difficult. But it's hard to believe that now, fast forward to 2020, 2021, everybody's embracing this. So that's very exciting to see. Although I'm really cautious about the evolution of Scrum moving forward. So let's see what it brings.
Well, it's off the we are off the working hours, so I can say it to Ilya. So Ilya, you are a little bit too serious for this event.
Sorry, I've been in 9 hours serious meetings. Yeah, so it's gonna take me some time to switch off. So bear with me, please.
And looks like Gil, you already have a fan club here, and Matej, sending you shalom. Okay. Looks like we are on the spot. The link is haslights.com/agiliat, and you can follow it during the translation, during the stream. So what are the rules? Let's start from one thing. Of course, every Scrum Master out there loves to ask some strange questions on the retrospectives. And I think the main question that they can ask, it's if you were a vegetable, which one would you be? And options: cabbage, papaya, BMW quad turbo B57 quad turbo diesel. By the way, really nice engine, and the carrot. And please let us know, if you were a vegetable, which one would you be? And looks like everyone, not everyone. Papaya is leading. And I will tell you what are the rules for us today. So we will have several rounds, and each round we will have some scores. And each round, one of you guys will have one case, and the cases are totally random and totally different, and you should solve this case like in real life. For example, if someone from your team is really toxic, or someone from your team, the jokes of this person are like too edgy for you, and other things. Those cases are not always like about the Scrum, maybe about management, but still, you have to solve it. After that, for example, first round would be on Ilya. And Ilya should solve this case. And after his speech, Gil and Marian, you can use different strategies. You can, for example, criticize Ilya, like, no, that will not going to work. Or you can say, okay, I would solve it like this. And you, viewers, you should kind of like vote for our contestants. And you will vote like this, round 1, round 2. And looks like 47% of the audience are carrots. Really nice. And that's it. That's the rules. So if you get first, like if people will vote for you and you will get the first spot, you will get 100 points. If you second spot will get 50 points. And if like it would be third spot, sorry, you will get 0. For some questions, they're a bit difficult, and you can have a chance to get to 200 points, or maybe lose 100 points. But we will get. Maybe it's random. Maybe we will not get them. Gentlemen, is everything okay for you? Are you with us? Maybe some questions?
Definitely.
Let's go for it.
Let's see how crazy we will go with your questions.
Okay, and that's potato, not a cabbage. Yeah, thank you, mindful trainer, because, well, I don't know how to react on that. Maybe, but for me, it looked more like a cabbage. Not papaya indeed. Yeah, we will have a case with a strange sense of humor. Let's begin. And Ilya, you are the first one. And let's jump into the case roulette. And we will have drum roll here. The elephant in the room. I will read the case. Then Ilya, you would have 1 minute to prepare, or you can answer without any preparations because you're vice president. Come on, you have so many years of experience.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. And the case is like this. Another drum roll. You know, we need to be kind of. Okay, elephant in the room. You board the team that formed quite a long time ago. The team delivers a guaranteed result, but nothing overboard. The communication in the team is quite passive, and the vibe of apathy somewhat present. So people are not that energetic. The team doesn't raise any interesting topics during the sprint retrospectives. If they reach the sprint goal, it's good. If they didn't reach, well, do better next time. All they want during the meeting is for it to come to the end so they could finally go home. So kind of passive team. And the issue that you have to solve. A day before the next retrospective via group chat, you request people, hey guys, could you please post the topic you want to discuss? And some team members, they asking why it's useless, why they like retrospectives, nothing interesting there. So they kind of passive. And this case, you have two options, actually three options. You can choose to make this case more hard, and you will get 200 points if you will be number one on this case. But if you will be not number one, you will lose 100 points. And because you have zero, there is a chance that you will have minus 100 points. Or you can say, okay, please make it easier, and you will get half the points if you will win. Others will get, like second place will get 50 points, and third place will have a 0. Ilya, is case clear for you?
Sure. I think the question is, can I ask kind of follow-up questions, or through the discussion, or this is kind of a go moment?
You can ask your questions, of course.
Okay. Is there like a single big offender there, or it's like generally the overall team's mood is more apathetic than it's not a single person?
Okay, I need some background music. No, the team is overall non-energetic, and the mood for everyone is kind of like everyone is depressed.
So I think first things first, it's kind of interesting to accept the fact that everybody's passive, right? There's probably going to be somebody who's a bigger offender. Bigger offender that has a bigger influence than others to that overall mood, and that might be actual product manager who does not kind of share the goal and values what the team is trying to achieve. That's one of the things that I'm kind of thinking through here. So walk me through the next step. So do I need to give you the solution, or
so next step, you can choose to make your job easier to choosing the chicken option. No pressure, but like but you will
what
get
the hell, let's go the hard way.
You want to go to the hard way, right?
Let's do it the hard way.
Okay, but you can win double prize, like 200 points. But if you will be not on the first spot, according to, people can vote just because. And
Sure,
you will lose
sure.
one. Okay, so you want to stick to the hardest option.
We're in exploring mode here. Sure, let's go for it.
Okay. Senior devs won't participate in retrospective since they don't want to waste their time on useless meetings. So they actively refuse to participate in retrospective because it's waste of time.
Okay. All right. So this is the hard follow-up case on this. Okay.
Yeah. So you can think about the solution, or you can give an answer right away.
Okay. So I have probably thought in my head. It might be completely off the course, but I think the I'll start with figuring out, like starting with why. What's the can you bring back the case, or it's gonna be difficult?
Of course, yeah. Pop.
Thanks.
Yeah, like this.
Excellent, thanks. So starting with why and figuring out like what if we're talking about 2-3 people that are in the team and that completely started to ignore it, and they will probably lay out a myriad of problems that they see with this, with how the team works or operates, or the goals that the team sets for themselves and what have you, right? So that's probably would give me a pretty good indication as to why these guys are kind of in the total ignorance mode, and that it's a pretty strong signal towards basically saying that they are either close to burning out or being demotivated within this team. So possibly, kind of figuring out what is the true reason of them not being proactive, right? So I must say that this might not be kind of like a week's work to get them to participate in the next retrospective in the way that they will be more proactive before addressing some of these core fundamental issues that they will be bringing up. So for me, identifying those issues and really validating if these are the problematic ones, or these are belonging to the individuals themselves. So they're tired, burnt out, they want to change teams, but they don't know how to do it. All these things are solvable. So for me, this is kind of splitting them out and pulling and resolving them one by one is probably the best case scenario for these senior developers that should be probably the key drivers for some of these for the work that the team does, right? So instead of being the motivator, they're pulling the team back. So I need to understand why this is happening.
Okay. Before we give a chance to speak to Gil and Marian, some of the thoughts from the viewers. By the way, viewers, you can, for example, Alexander saying that pick the biggest guy and knock him out. That's my answer to the issue. And Kiur is saying that you mean knock out Gil. By the way, Gil is sitting, so we don't know his lower body size. Maybe he's not that big.
Oh, I assure you, I am very fat.
So, Gil,
at least 2 meters tall. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Gil, what do you think? You can argue with Ilya, or maybe give your solution to this problem.
I think that Ilya definitely started on a good track, which is figure out why. And in fact, I would argue that making it harder-ish bit actually made it much easier. Because if the senior devs are not engaged in the retro and they don't feel like this benefits them in any way, the rest of the team will follow. While if you can convince them that this is a good and valuable thing that serves them, the rest of the team will follow them. So if the biggest, baddest guy, like was mentioned in the comments, is suddenly your biggest fan, you know, you have one battle to win instead of 7, which I don't know how big the team is, 7, 20, 5, doesn't matter. So I'd argue it actually makes it easier, and starting with why, like Ilya did, is a very good start. So discussing with the seniors, especially in a very close, in a very private forum, just the two of you, why is it going on? What do they think? What do they see the retro as serving? Does it serve them? Does it serve the team? How can they succeed without the team? There's no chance that one developer can be, you know, so good that they're better than 6 developers and the other 6 are doing nothing and that guy's doing all the work. So if they feel part of the team, then they would want the team to succeed because the team and them work together. So if you help them clarify that bit, once you figure out why, you'll probably find out that they don't really feel like they're part of the team, and that's relatively easy to solve. So I would actually argue that thank you, Ilya, for making this easier on all of us, because like nobody in the team wants to attend people don't give a damn in the retro is one issue, but one guy who doesn't like the retro is much easier to solve.
Okay, thank you, Gil. And looks like you have actually you have a fun club, because a mindful trainer saying yes, go Gil, yes, but others argue with him, or her. Marian, what is your approach to this case? We cannot hear you, unfortunately. Maybe you are muted.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. Yeah,
we are good here. So thanks for the the inputs here from both of the guys. I guess you are pretty close, but let me tell you how it should be done.
Hold on, I'm taking notes.
Yes, please.
Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Yeah. So normally, like from my experience, in case the retrospective is not working, it points to one single thing, and that is that there is no follow-ups, and people are just complaining about certain things. Nevertheless, they are still complaining about the very same issues, and there is no action being taken out of it. And I would behave in a very same way if I'm complaining or pointing to a very specific thing which is quite urgent and important in my eyes, but there is no action taken out of it. There is no reasonable level of transparency in terms. I'm not speaking backlog, but at least the retrospective should end up the way that you have at least 1 to 2 action items which are sort of workable, and achievable here. And so I would say this might be the root cause, and the way how to resolve it is that depends, right? So either you fire a manager because he's not doing a great job. That would be my proposal. The second one, of course, that might be the case that it's just a bunch of either, I would say, senior people, as we are saying, but introverts, right? So normally we can think of, let's say, splitting the team and mixing it with different teams. So let's say the team balance and the atmosphere is getting much better in terms of mixing introverts and extroverts all together, right? So these tips and tricks and the balance. So that's my outcome for now.
Thank you. And please, people. By the way, you can still vote on the vegetables if you want. But who won this round? And we already have some. You can still vote. We need some drum roll, maybe some and by the way, for example, the I love Jill already. Nice. Looks like people, some agree, some not. So many assumptions. Yeah, that's true. Mindful trainers is saying that so many assumptions, guys. But come on, it's a case, like couple of paragraphs of text, and you can still vote. 38 people voted. still, if you have, you can join using ahaslides.com/agile, and looks like that's it. And the winner of the first round is I said winner, and the winner of the first round is Marian. And where is the claps? Yeah, really nice job. So you have here in this round you have 200 points. Ilya, unfortunately, you have minus 100 points because come on, that was your bet. And Jill,
I went down the rabbit hole. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and the Gil 25. Come on. Yeah, but it's still second place, so
We can split it. We can do 50-50.
okay, it would be 50. So the scores are Marian 200 points, Ilya minus 100, and Gil is 50 points. And let's proceed to the round number 2. And who's gonna answer? Marian, your turn. Okay, let's take a look at the Capulets and the Montagues. I'm not sure how to. I never read Shakespeare in the original. Maybe I don't know, guys. Have you? Yes. Okay.
I mean, I've studied literature once, and like it doesn't count.
Oh. Okay.
I stuck into Charles' faculty for like British and English studies for fun. So yeah. Anyway.
Wow.
Hit it.
Wow. Okay, let's proceed to the case. And Adam saying that's showing the actual result while the voting is still on the influence. Yeah, but why not? Come on. Let's vote. And by the way, a call to action to you, dear viewers. You can drink something. Gil, what's is on your glass? Is in your glass? Is it tea?
Definitely tea.
Tea, of course, tea.
Of course.
Okay.
No.
And the case
Grab a drink
number
and join
8.
us, everyone.
Yeah. The case number 8, the Capulets and the Montagues. Marian, it's to you. It's a regular case without any like hidden under cases. So there are 2 teams, the Montagues and the Capulets, each good on their own. Each team is expert at its scope of work. They can deliver the necessary product increments fast. The teams got to work together on one scope, template library. One team, the Montagues, developed a base functionality, and the Capulets started adding specialized templates. So they have to work together on one like template library. So, and they are experts in their own scope. And the Capulets didn't like the library architecture, and they let the Montagues know about it, like vigorously. The discussion led to a conflict, and the teams are now up against each other. So the issue is the teams will have to continue working on the template library because we need it, like the company needs it. And by default, any communication attempts are considered aggression and unconstructive negotiation. Do you have any? Yeah.
So now I'm tasting the medicine of what Ilya went through, because it's really difficult, forming your ideas right after the question is observed. So yeah, that's really tricky. So what are the rules? Do we go the harder way? Are we allowed to?
No. This particular case is just a case. You don't have any additional points. Yeah. If you solve it, if you will be on number 1, you will get 100 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So trying to put my head around this one. I like the connotation with the families, because the teams are truly families here. So that is nice. So what I would do first is to rename the teams, and the reason why is they shouldn't like compete against each other. And I would rename the teams right after, basically reorganizing them into some sort of a more vertical way of how you deliver things, because I presume the library is there for some purpose, right? for the purpose of delivering the feature to the customer. Meaning from the let's say the backend and the front-end team, this is like, let's say, the way how I imagine those two teams. We can make two vertical teams which will get a full stack base if we basically transpose the metrics here, right? So in each and every team there will be the front-end guys from the library, plus backend guys from the library, plus the front-end guys from the couplets team, and they will have a clear goals there.
I can explain. So the thing is that those two teams are already like multifunctional. They have backend, frontend, but they have to work on the piece of product, some shared piece of product. So they have some I don't know, maybe it's a template library in this case. So it's already there. They already have multi-functions.
Right. Nevertheless, I still persist on my approach here because I do understand that the Montags are working on the library, but that library is not like doesn't do the customer facing stuff, I guess, right? So once again, if we mix the teams the way that everybody, each and every team will be working on the library and at the same time working with on the end user features, that will come to the fruition that they will basically the taste the outcomes of each other, so they will not complain like as the other teams. That's the usual excuse, because it will stay within their team. So that would be my approach here.
So your suggestion is to mix teams who has a bloody vendetta on them. So like.
Yeah, so I would take some of the couplets, some of the Montags to the team A, and same thing for the team B.
Okay, guys, do you have any thoughts on that, Ilya? Let's start from you.
Yeah, I like Marian approach, and I think in terms of kind of mixing the teams up. But to me, one thing that does not sit, and taking it from the experience, is like if the relationship has been kind of on the edge from the beginning, like adding people will have an impact to overall timelines of like how to until things will settle down. The other option or construct that could be there is maybe potentially to bring in the arbitrage through like a chief architect or somebody who owns the piece of that kind of functionality on the large scheme of things, and kind of innovation, and get a third hand opinion on what solution is more efficient, right? So that's probably something that I would add. And the second thing that just came to my mind is again, there are metrics that should show how one solution performs over another, or the architectural solution, through whether the requirements that would be coming from business, or the platform requirements that this company might have in place. So the metrics should be driving the decision on the approach to take. But I realize that sometimes you don't know it before you actually implement it. So that's
okay.
Probably.
And Gil, what is your approach?
I mean, I can see the logic of what Marian and Ilya propose, and at the same time, it seems like they would trade two very good teams for two average or bad ones just to solve this one issue, because by mixing both teams, you are not necessarily resolving the conflict. You're just transferring it from one team against another team to two teams that are against themselves. So it's a bit risky. It can work. I personally would try to keep the teams whole for as long as possible, kind of keep this as the last option. At the end of the day, it's really, really hard to keep like it's very easy to pick a fight with someone you don't know very well, and it's very hard to pick fights with friends. So one team would probably build this idea of what the other team is and how evil they are and how they do it all on purpose to screw them. And it would be perhaps easier to, I mean, it's not going to be a very popular decision or an easy one, but as a manager, you can just say, all right, fair enough. You both have your points. You're both right in your own way. You're both going to sit together, everybody in these teams, once a week, and you're all going to work with me together on how to solve this, not the interpersonal issue, but the technical issue. We give them a common target we give them a common goal and a common pursuit. And just by the fact that they would be together all the time, moderated and assisted by us, so it doesn't get very toxic, because it might also go that way if it's not moderated, then they would grow to know each other. And once you know someone, it's much harder to pick a fight with them all the time. In fact, I would go even a step further and encourage also events outside working time. So, going out for beers is not as common anymore, but online games or team building for the entire department who worked on this. Yay, pizzas for everyone. And work on the human angle of this, because from the technical angle, they might be right, they might be wrong, we could get into this for years, but if they will get along, they will solve the problem. And the people aspect of this is, from my perspective, usually something that yields the longer term benefits.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I like Gil's approach, I have to say. Yeah. But that's definitely worth to investigate, because I can imagine inviting people for having a online Counter-Strike between the two teams, and you are trying to kill and shoot each other, and it's relaxing.
It is very relaxing. It's like you let it out. It's like, I hate this guy, but I shot him in the head yesterday, so we're cool.
Yeah. You're supposed to be that.
Okay, and it's time to vote. I need some music here. Some anxious music. And by the way, we have some thoughts from the chat. For example, Alexander is saying maybe sacrificing the delivery pace and having one team deliver the whole thing is a better approach here. Or for example, where it is, Simona is saying, but what about team chemistry? It would be destabilized. Could you please say that word for me, Gil?
Destabilizing them.
Destabilizing. Thank you very much.
I'll be your Google speech for today.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. And what else? The discussion in the comments. It's a mindful trainer saying, I am a bit disappointing to see that most people here have voted for the possibility to fire someone. Well, a shared goal is great. Okay, looks like we have a winner here, kind of like obvious winner, I would say. So so Gil is number 1 here in this case, Ilya number 2, and Marian unfortunately number 3. So yeah, now 1 second, I forgot who won. Gil is number 1, Ilya is number 2, and Marian number 3. Yay! And where is the clap?
Let's give it to Gil.
Thank you, Marian. And so far, Marian is number 1 still. So yeah, as you can see, it works like that. And let's move on to the Agile cases roulette round number 3. Boom, boom, boom. Where is the drum roll? Drum roll. Okay. Explode the market. This is not the real case, not from anyone's experience, but someone may notice some similar notes. And the case is, and Gil, you are the one who will respond to this case. And the case is Microsoft totally some company just I don't know why it's called Microsoft, not that Microsoft, completely different Microsoft.
Not Microsoft, not Microsoft, Microsoft, completely different.
Yeah, completely Microsoft. Is about to launch a new product that should explode the market, like total crazy. The official release is expected in 3 months, in 1 quarter. Your company got the closed beta access to its API. So you are not Microsoft, you're some different company, but you got some access to private API. And now you need to integrate your new product with the one from Microsoft. Against all odds, for some reason, you negotiate with Microsoft CIO, like one guy, maybe you know him, and the tech giant promises to showcase your integration during their presentation for millions of viewers. Like you can imagine, this is marketing opportunity. You will never get one. But the issue is API is constantly changing, like every day. You only find out about the changes once you try the API, and devs, your developers, are upset, obviously, since parts of the code do not work anymore, and you're forced to redesign the sprint halfway through. You are the scrum master of the team, so you have to do something with that, and the API constantly changing. No one will tell you what's gonna change tomorrow, but yeah. And here you can one option, you can choose harder case and get more points, or the chicken option.
Is there like a middle option where I just tackle this, or do?
Yeah, you can not choose anything.
Nah, let's do it. Let's go for the harder one.
Harder one, yeah. Looks
I'd
like
rather be ashes than dust.
Yeah, that's true. Looks like the option with the chicken, I did it without any purpose because everyone would go crazy and pick the... Okay, the harder option. We need another drum roll because it would be so good. Your product's UI must match the Microsoft one. So not only API, backend, whatever, but UI. So your UX team has to refer to the style guide that's changing every 2 weeks, or maybe even.
That makes it even worse.
Of course, that's the point.
Why did I do this?
I don't know.
Oh well.
You can have your minute to think, or you can answer right now, or ask your questions.
I can think out loud. It would help me think, and it would kind of help me frame this in a useful way. I assume I don't have any other contact to the run. Yes. Yeah. In the words, it's just like, move to Nepal and live the rest of my life as a mountain goat. I can do that. So, first of all, I assume I no longer have any influence or contact with the CEO of Microsoft, which is totally not Microsoft.
Of course.
Of course. Absolutely not. So it's all down to how we react and respond to this. Luckily, Agile was built basically for that. I mean, an internal study at Intel shows that requirements change by 1 to 3% on average every month. So that's not too bad to say that every sprint, things change a little bit. It's still not fun. I mean, Agile is change, and the fact that things change all the time actually works in our benefit. Having to cancel sprints all the time is not fun. But the main challenge is, we have 2 challenges, it seems. The first one is how do you keep the team sane? And the second one is, how do you deliver something that's actually effective and that helps you? Since the API is constantly changing, I will start with answer 2 because it's the easier one. Problem 2. In order to actually deliver something effective, I would focus on the smallest MVP that I can get, because it would make no sense to try and go bombastic into blow the market yourself and fail miserably on stage live in front of billions of viewers. However, if we do one thing very well, that is excellent material that we can use for years, especially on such a massive platform. So things change. sprints may get cancelled, but if we focus on delivering the smallest thing that we can assure would work, that should probably be where we should focus our efforts. How to keep the team sane? I would focus on creating an identity that embraces this change as an extra challenge rather than, distractions from God. Less the wrath of a capricious God and more, all right, bring it. What else can you throw at us? We can do it. We can deliver this. So I will focus around creating, again, a unified identity of rising to these challenges and view this as an opportunity to deliver something great in the face of adversity rather than focusing on, how do we deal with this new change? So, yeah, twofold answer to both challenges presented by this. And as far as the extra bit on top, which I completely forgot about until you zoomed out now, the UI thing.
That's true.
The style guide. Ooh, I mean, without the designs, we can't really build anything, but we can assume that the designs would only be available for the last sprint. So I would focus on something, because we can't have mockups that continually change. So I'll focus, again, on something that's mostly backend, mostly not something that you can necessarily show that's flashy and incredible, and would leave the UI for last. Last sprint is all about making this look nice. The rest is making this tiny MVP work.
So you will say to your UX team, hey guys, for now you can rest, you can go to the beach or somewhere else, but last sprint you will not have rest at all.
Last sprint you're not going to sleep. There is no incremental change to be made. We don't know. And it would be better to tell them, take some time, think about this, meditate, prepare yourself for one mad sprint. I think it will be better than telling them, every sprint, no, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to change this again. So.
Okay, yeah. And I like opinions from the viewers, like Taiku is saying, and of course the Scrum Master is the ultimate Gandalf with all wisdom.
That is actually a very good point, and you're right.
Okay, and Marián, what would be your approach on this, or maybe thoughts, or you can criticize Gil?
I mean, totally, that's a challenge worth to tackle here, because you want to definitely make sure that you don't miss such an opportunity, as we said, to show up your company like in view of the millions of people. So I actually like what Gil said about some sort of a prototype or MVP or something similar to that. But I would take a very different approach, and that is basically, as API is changing constantly, as we have to adapt to whatever Microsoft design. I would rather focus on not really implementation side as opposed to doing some sort of mocking, sketching, and because let's be fair, the final I would say town hall presentation is just about showing some sort of few screens which might not necessarily be working, right? So it should be more about, okay, I'm going to be compliant with the design standards. There's going to be some minimal functionality, which I will let people work on. And of course, I don't want to be too much radical, so there will we still need to be working on some bits of pieces as API is changing. So just to make the bet more probable to come to fruition, I would just look for or develop against the specific API version, mock a given version API, and try to integrate with this one. And in terms of the design, we'll do the very very same thing, some sort of a minimalistic sketching as we said, and that should basically do the trick in my books, because at the end of the day, you don't show the functionality at that D-Day. You show some sort of basically literary magics and sketches which are behind it. So that would be my approach here.
Okay, nice.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Ilya, it's your time. What do you think?
So yeah, I've been listening to the guys, and I think I do. So I was going to sell it as a half funny answer, but then thinking further, like Steve Jobs, I think he sold one of his laptop computers in the early days that didn't really work. And that's something that, the marketing bit worked, so the impact was there, but there was a lead time for them to deliver the actual quantities of these computers to the public, right? So I think for these types of events, you're forced to separate the priorities, and because you cannot find this anchoring stable point that you can attach or share with the team. And with that, I think like you kind of focus on the high fidelity, prototype presentation, what have you, and then and then work on the API once it gets signed off by the big massive corporation.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for. You can continue, of course.
No, I was just going to say, like, if what folks online think about this, because it is a very interesting and freaking difficult challenge, like to tackle. So
yeah, of course. Guys from internet saying that Wizard of Oz kind of stuff. Of course. Alexander is saying that cut the scope radically and focus on demo case. You are not going to get more than a few seconds from Microsoft.
Exactly. There is, by the way, I just wanted to enrich it somehow, and I experienced the very same thing. It was not Microsoft or something, but several years back, I experienced the thing that used to be an architect and was presenting in a very special team building event the outcomes of my teams, and unfortunately we were at a place where the internet was not working in a stable way. So what we concluded, or what we came to, is that we physically just made screenshots and projecting those to the audience, and it was an unbelievable event, and everybody was clapping, etc. Everybody was happy, and it was a win-win. So what the heck? So that's exactly what the way I would go here.
You cannot destroy screenshots. Come on,
Yeah.
they always work. It's time to vote. And at the stream, yeah. Round number 3, you can go to the ahaslides.com/agile, and meanwhile I will show you the chicken option. While let me show you the link. Maybe you want it. So the chicken option turns out that you are Microsoft Ultra Platinum partner, and you got your hands on Dev Manager contacts. Every 2 weeks, the manager sends you a letter informing you what's going to change in the API in the next 2 weeks. That was the chicken option. But
wow.
Yeah.
That's too much. That is too much chicken to me.
That is too chicken.
The chicken.
That is,
Yeah.
we have the difficult situation currently, with Facebook on Socialbakers, but I would kill to go the chicken option.
I see. Okay, and let's take a look on the voting system. And looks like here Marian is number 1. And Ilya and Gil, guys, we need some drum roll. Who's gonna win second spot? Come on,
One more. Somebody vote for me.
I will vote myself because 20. Come on.
Evgeny, just cast your vote somewhere.
I will vote myself, but
yeah. We need some bot form or whatever, botnet.
we can flip a coin for it. We can flip.
Looks like 2 people just exchanging the opinions here. Yeah. And looks like okay, let's
so we can split the points between Ilya and I.
Yeah.
Let's split the points.
We'll iterate, sure.
Valid.
So
We'll do
Marian
better in the next sprint.
we'll have 200 points, right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
By the way, to all the online guys, as you can see, this one is about agility, but we did no talks about Scrum or whatsoever, and actually I like it.
okay, 50 points to you guys. Why not? 50
Why
points.
not?
And Ilya, congratulations from my side. You have 0 points. This is huge progress.
When you take a dip, it takes some time to get out of the ditch you were first thrown into by the first round. So
Slowing a negative trend is just as good as achieving a positive trend. So
exactly,
it's good.
Yeah, we have moments of wisdom here. And,
Dropping wisdom.
Yeah. And don't flip Jill. Yeah. Break every point. Okay. Let's move on. Why not? Next case. And actually, I'm super bad at remembering stuff. And who's next? Ilya, right? Yeah, Ilya, because we started from Ilya.
yep.
Sorry. My memory is not that great anymore. And let's spin the wheel. Dream big, number 12.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Let's wait a moment and we will see will you like it or not. And the case is like this. Change of plans. The team is up for a new, very promising project of a grandiose scale, like super huge. Devs are all charged up and ready to go, and they suggest to use a new stack no one used yet. They try to assure you it will boost the development process, like super nice stack, but super rare. Issue. Product owner is extremely skeptical, suggests you take up on the stack the company has been using for the last 5 years. Your developers are demotivated. HRBP, of course, takes the PO side. Nobody knows how to hire for a new stack yet. So the case is you have new super nice feature or product, and developers are suggesting that, hey, let's take a super rare, super new promising framework or technology or stack, and product owner is not happy because, like, of course, and HRBP takes product owner side. Nobody knows how to hire to the new stack, and you're expecting of the hires. And this is you can take 3 sides. You can act as a team lead or technical lead of the team, so you have support of every developers in the team, so you are on the technical side. Product owner side, and as a product owner, you can go to the vice president of product and say, hey, maybe we will give up with the new product and let's stick to something new, or you are the scrum master, so you can change the hat in this case.
So I need to pick one right now.
Yeah, you have to pick one.
And play along with being skeptical product owner, for example, right?
For example, you can act as a product owner and convince developers, guys, maybe let's give up and you should resolve the issue, because the issue is that we have several sides of the conflict, like product owner, technical guys, or scrum master as a somewhere between,
like a mediator. Got it.
Yeah, like a mediator.
Sure. I mean, I'm kind of torn because I want to do a bit of everything, but let's start with the I'll pick the team lead side, the engineering side.
Okay, so
okay, no chicken or
no chicken.
No chicken scenario here. Okay.
No.
Got it. Okay, so I think again, I'm going to think out loud here, so I'm going to leverage that minute to. This is pleasant to think too. So as a team, well, if we're coming into this new, huge, probably fundamental initiative that will take the product next further for 5+ whatever years, right? Or 4+ years, and it's going to be capitalizable for God knows how much time. Realizing that our previous stack has been causing already performance issues, or realizing that we've spent quite a bit of time on in improving it, or maintaining it. There's Evgeny, can you mute yourself? I mean, as much as I love your tunes, thanks. So I think when this comes to a decision, I think my arguments would be is that the based on the life of the next product initiative, or the next addition to the platform, we'd like to extend it further. And why we realize that this is not the it's not the widely used tech stack at the moment. We know that it is getting a lot of traction. It is getting a lot of feedback from the community, and we know that by certain benchmarks, for example, it performs better. So we as an engineering team, we're ready to provide these benchmarks from scalability, performance, whatever else is we can bring up, because we know that this tech stack will actually take us further based on the anticipated usage of our new grandiose product feature, and so on and so forth. So my arguments as a team leader for representing the engineering team would be that go stepping into something big that has a lifetime of 4 or 5 years, realizing that we're not carrying over the debt that we already have accumulated, and we realize that the product feature, it's not even the feature, right? It's a new set of functionality, I guess, that we're bringing on board, is going to live on its own. Then and support backed by metrics and kind of research on that performance and scalability. I think that will push us to make the case with the product owner, right? So like having the understanding of what we're trying to achieve in the long term would definitely help immensely to drive that decision on scale and performance. And in terms of hiring, we know that, I mean, depending on obviously geographies and the tech stacks, but what we see is that new technologies get adopted within year or two to 3 years in the community. So personally, I haven't ran into an issue where we see that the tech stack has gotten enough traction in the community, and we've seen we were unable to hire or train or coach people to leverage it within the company. So I think the perfect example was Wrike itself, where we've started leveraging Dart couple of years back, and we've built all tools and processes, and help people to without any previous knowledge to actually gain that knowledge within Wrike. So that's going to be my case to state with HR as well, because this is something that if you like in the product, if you don't have a market, create one. So
yeah, this case is not connected to Wrike, of course. Not anyhow. And Taidu saying, but why would the HRBP's opinion matter on a technical choice?
It's probably, I think they would be in this case, if I would understand what the case is about, the HRBPs would have a say into like staff growth and complexity to fill the future roles, within the next several years, and everything connected with that. If I understand this correctly, Evgeny.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's correct. And the key you're saying that keep the devs happy, of course. They will work their way through. Plus the lesson learned, new or old stack delays the inevitable. So, gentlemen, Marian, I believe you should continue on that.
Okay. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah.
So I like how Ilya was thinking about this one, because there is one thing, and me being a former architect before, I was standing exactly in front of the very same question, and it was the case of a company or the team proposing we should be moving from Java to Go as a programming language, for example. So in that case, and that's very similar to our scenario here, because there is no many Go developers in European countries. So that's really is the case here. Nevertheless, it really depends, because I can imagine that for example, having a bunch of .NET C# developers who want to leverage their tools and want to move towards the functional programming, which is F#, and in that case, it's sort of more compatible. And I wouldn't see a big gap or problem in that case, right? So it really depends, but I would say, I presume that the tech stack is very different to make it more fun, right? In this case, so normally, the way how I ended up looking at this one is that first of all, you do some sort of a one-day workshop with all the guys, as we were saying before, when we agree on what are the top 3, let's say, differentiators we are gonna let's say evaluate here, and we are gonna be at the very same meeting until we have everything, all the top 3 cases covered, right? Afterwards, okay, let's have a beer or something, but there needs to be some sort of decisions being made, right? So that is the first approach. But truly, the other approach, which I would use being a manager, which I'm sorry for that, Evgeny, because you don't have that in your points, but normally what I do, maybe I'm gonna have some negative points here. I get it. What normally I would do is to let's make a competition out of it. That would be my approach, right? So because why the competition is great is that you can call out and say, okay, we might decide to go in a new path, right? With a new programming language or whatsoever, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that there is somebody who's responsible for it. I don't mean it the way that I want to get rid of the responsibility, but we come down to the notion of of trust. Can I trust you the way that you will do everything that is going to end up in a as a success in the end? And if there is somebody I can trust to, and he gains my trust, then I have no issue, almost no issue to go down the new path, right? If there is nobody I can trust to, then it has a very little probability to succeed, basically. So at the end of the day, you come up with I would come up with my hand being raised and say, okay, we might go your way. Is there anybody I can trust? Is there anybody I can fully give the ownership of that? I'm okay to give you, let's say, some sort of percentage out of the revenue it generates. But in that case, I want to make sure that it really works in the end of the day, because it is some sort of crazy scenario we speak about here. And openly speaking, nobody has a clue what's going to happen in 3 years, right? So that's for sure. Management is about minimizing the risk, basically, right? So once again, my approach would be like to tackle the top 3, let's say, differentiators or top points we want to cover, and make a decision upon that. And then I'm gonna ask like who's gonna be the one who can guarantee me that these 3 top items we will stay aligned with them, and it's gonna turn out into success in the end with some sort of bonus compensation or shares. That's about it.
You can understand how vice presidents of engineering think, because like, okay, there are 3 hats. You can wear any of them. Okay, I will wear myself. And by the way, you can play with us, and you can play Devops Bingo. Do you know how to play Devops Bingo? Every time when someone mentions Kubernetes or microservices, you should drink. So Luana's saying that, or you can use microservices. So if you, I have only water here, unfortunately, because I'm at work.
Yep.
Right now.
Last time we met, actually, I was moderating and you were speaking. So it's very happy to see how much better you are at this than me. You got your guitar, you're prepared, all the tools, and I was just like, "News, Evgeny."
Okay, and by the way, this is your time to solve the case.
So, in the same way that Marian and Ilya chose to wear their hats, I'm going to cheat also and choose mine. I'm going to be the Scrum Master in this situation. And I'm going to make a few assumptions going into this. My main 2 assumptions are that the team knows the new stack and that they advocate using it because they are familiar with it and not just because they heard about it. They're not just going like, let's use GraphQL. Why? Because GraphQL. So they know what they're doing and they know how to work with it, and that they can prove that it is mechanically better than the old one in some way. It's easier to maintain. It's easier to cover it with tests. It's, it allows them to deliver faster and so forth, because the old stack will eventually be outdated. It doesn't matter how incredible Ruby was like 5 years ago. Nobody's using Ruby now. It's like maybe just GitHub. I don't know. So the old stack is going to be outdated at some point, and the team knows the new stack well. The PO shouldn't really care what the tech stack is. They don't mind. They say like, I want this built, and the team should figure this out. So, the most reasonable thing to do would be to let them work with the new stack, because they would work their hearts out. They would work because now it's a dare. Basically, like Marian said, that we trust them that this is a good decision, and they in return will rise up to that trust. They will work their hearts out, and they will work longer if necessary to deliver this, rather than if we just tell them, no, you have to do it the safe way, which is boring. So the goal we should aim at is not necessarily deliver everything at once. It would be, all right, you want to play with the new stack, fine, good, let's do that, but deliver something tiny. This bit in the new stack, as small as we can get, to prove that it actually works and is better. If it's not, switching back to the old stack, and we're a month delayed rather than 5 years. So, and as far as the talent acquisition point is, look at us. We're all at home doing anything. Nothing should stop us as a company hiring developers from all over the world. So, there's nothing, if there's a shortage of talent for Go, for example, in Europe, well, cool, let's just go to Asia or to the US if we can afford it. Probably not. So my point is, no, the PO shouldn't care. And if the PO objects to the new stack, it's probably because they're scared, and I understand them. That is a valid concern. So if the team believes that they can deliver it, and they know the new stack, and it is functionally better, let them build something small, kind of a proof of concept thing, show us that it works better, and then we can switch to the new stack. Although, I'll be honest, one of my teams actually did this like a few months ago. So, yeah.
Okay, thanks for your opinion, Gil, and let's jump to the round number 4 voting. And meanwhile, someone pointed in comments that on the previous round, actually you put your bet on the hard option and you didn't win. So I should remove 100 points from you and not give you 50. So here you should have minus 100. Which means that Marian is far
in a
beyond.
massive advantage.
But still, game is game. Rules are rules. And
These are your rules, I have to say.
you are winning. What do you need? And here, meanwhile, okay, Evgeny, please play the guitar during the voting. I can, but
Please
voting
do.
is not that long. And looks like, I don't know, I need to put some dramatic music here, but Gil.
Did we just lose Evgeny?
We probably did.
Oh well, so I don't really have any access to the questions. Oh, there he is.
You know what? Okay, if you have this kind of like magic mouse, and with the magic gestures, you can swipe your two fingers left, and in the browser you will go back in history, and I was back in history. Shit happens. Okay, we are here. We are back, and sorry for that. I'm here. And Gil, you are number one. My congratulations to you. Where is
Hey!
clapping? Number one.
Hey!
Hey! Excellent.
Okay, you have 100 points here, and
Thank you, everyone. Keep voting for me.
Marian, you're number
It's
two.
not a competition, but one of us has to
course.
win.
We don't have prizes, so.
Ooh. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
and again, it's hard to say, but Ilya, you still have 0 points. And Marian, you are number one, and Gil, you have 150. And by the way, I don't think that we will cover all the rest four cases, but if we will speed up the development, we have 4 sprints to cover, so maybe we should. Okay, and spoilers. And let's go. A ship with the cabin boys. And this one is for you, Marian. Are you ready?
Okay.
Love the hat.
I was just waiting for an excuse to call this.
Yeah. Okay. And the case is a ship with the cabin boys. The company decided to take up on a promising trend related to machine learning. The problem is that no one in the company is knowledgeable in this, and executive don't want to invest big in an unexplored field. So the team mostly consists of inexpensive juniors, the classic. There is one middle dev, and there is of course a product owner like a client for this one, or stakeholder. They all start working, and the issue is any sprint planning attempts fail. No expertise means juniors miss their deadline estimations manifold. Whatever reach the release state crashes constantly. The product owner is upset, and the developers are depressed, even though they were glowing with enthusiasm before. So the thing is that the company decided, hey, this new feature is super nice and important, but we don't want to invest a lot of it. So you have the team full of juniors, maybe one medium developer, and here you have a choice. You have your chicken choice, or maybe some hard option.
Let's go the hard way.
Of course. And
Yes.
Alexander is saying that sounds like my company. Okay.
Remind me not to join wherever Alexander is at.
Yeah,
Ever.
or not to use your
Yeah.
like real name.
Also a valid point.
Yeah. Okay, the executives make a decision to add 4 more juniors to the team. You know, if you want something to solve, just add more people to the team. So now you have team like, for example, 10 juniors. Since they realized that it is a promising field, so executive decided to add more juniors to your team.
Nice.
Of course.
Nice. The question I have, Evgeny, if I may, is why the hell executives care about what's the seniority of people, right? So normally you get a budget and you mix the teams the way that it works, right?
It's machine learning. It's the future. Take
it's
So
the
my take here would be to exchange let's say some more junior people for some sort of a senior more senior people in this field.
Yeah, but maybe executive, they are like, okay, we have a bunch of juniors on the market. Why not to throw them into the team because they're cheap? And and seniors, come on, to hire a senior, you have to spend
yeah.
years.
So to me, I have an ultimate solution to this one. I would leave the company because the company is shit.
Excellent.
Oh, really? I mean, I have no time to spend my talent on the things which don't make sense at all, right? So that is one approach I would definitely use here. Nevertheless, I don't want to throw people, over the board. So let's try to help them. So okay. So as I said, my first proposal would be to leave, and I'm not thinking about myself. I'm speaking about like the teams. The other thing is because you mentioning there the sprint planning. So I presume that we are working in a sprint cycle. So the one thing which I would definitely go for before I leave is to change actually the way how we work into more some sort of a Kanban way as opposed to sprint, because it does not make sense at all to let's say behave the way or to let's say mimic the way that we are able to adopt to the sprint. Although on the other hand, like the work with the neural networks and machine learning behind it's very like craftsmanship work, meaning like there is a lot of uncertain things. So and for that purpose, like the way how I experience that is that especially to the machine learning teams, the Kanban works in a much better way here, right? So yeah. I don't really want to go too much into detail here. I think I was pretty clear about my message. So let's see how the other guys can handle that challenge.
Yeah.
Accepted.
And saying that bad decision, they will dance around the table like chickens.
So abandon ship, it seems.
Yeah.
So it's up to them if they whomever likes to dance as a chicken can stay.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, Gil, your turn.
So
Captain
I have a lot
speaking.
of funny stories. Yeah, I actually happen to have it matching the case. I totally did not come prepared for this, not at all. I just look incredible in a hat. So at the moment, while I do have a lot of funny stories around this, we're not going to get into it because we are short on time. However, it seems like the best case scenario is that the team is going to panic and run around like headless chickens for a very long time before they may be able to deliver something that is basically a giant file of if statements. So that's hardly any value to the customer, and that's hardly effective in any way. So a team is like, it doesn't matter how nice the technology is. If you can't work with it, it's useless. It doesn't matter if you have access to the fanciest and most expensive tools in the market. If you can't use them, they're meaningless. So right now we have a team of one guy who may know what he does, or one girl who may know what she does, and 10 people who have no idea. So the most logical thing to do would be to put this on hold, this entire initiative, because it's not going to go anywhere and just cost the company money, time, effort, and headaches for everyone involved. And spread the team, spread the juniors around other teams, and let them learn machine learning in this not really spare time, but alongside their work. Let them contribute to the company in some way while they're learning how to actually use this. Are we going to perhaps miss this giant surge in machine learning? Maybe, but we're probably not going to catch it anyway with 10 juniors. So it's best to let them learn, let them figure out how this can be done and should be done, and then decide if we can do it. In the meantime, we should start looking for senior machine learning engineers, although those are very expensive. So that would be really, really hard to do. I would focus on education and on helping the juniors grow into the talent that they can, like, I would help them grow into a position where they can contribute to this project rather than, I don't know, leave them floundering.
Just imagine you helped juniors to learn machine learning and they left because
then that's probably a good sign. Because the worst situation is if I don't train them and they stay.
And the Ballas saying that education might help to convert juniors to seniors over time, but definitely it would be hard times for everybody during.
We're not in it because it's easy, lads.
Yeah, the captains should go to the destination point. Ilya, what would be your approach in this?
So, thinking through this, like, I think part of me is the adventurous part. So as a captain, I would jump ship last, probably before the all the boat boys or the sailors will. And to me, I think they're all reasonable cases around like dispersing the team and kind of allowing them to work or to do it on their own. I think my thinking there is that we have a team of junior yet highly motivated people. Like they came there to do this. They're eager to learn. They're eager to find out new things. They just need that helping hand in one way or another. So, and one vector I would kind of pursue, and that's I would question the case itself, why executive decide on who to hire. But we've talked about this as well. But bring that case over to exec team to actually saying we have a team of highly driven, motivated individuals that need support. So the need support or need senior engineers, leaders, that are we willing to invest into this ambitious goal because we've kind of committed to it for the long term, and explain the rationale, what the long term means with these people and bringing somebody else on board. The other piece is that to probably manage it with the product owner and think about like potentially changing it into R&D kind of lab type of environment where you do a bunch of experiments. Some of them might 1 out of 10 might be beneficial for the business, but to set the expectations around the fact that some of the things are still in kind of a exploratory mode for next 6 months, and then revisit this once the team is more stable, experienced, and what have you. So, but again, I would challenge the executive decision. I would look at taking the most out of these junior guys that are driven and want to improve, and talk to product manager or product management organization with these product manager to kind of discuss the possibility of flipping it and switching mode into more of a innovation lab kind of setup. And if none of this works, I will take my hat and jump ship.
And Ballas, telling one of my former bosses, say that in many cases enthusiasm will win over knowledge. Seems the same senior manager like in this example. And another thing, by the way, we can vote. We can vote, and let's vote. And meanwhile, I will tell you a story and one comment from Ballas again. Hard times would also bring strong people. I remember my childhood when my parents used to teach me how to swim. So they just threw me into the water, and that's it. So since then I'm unable to swim. So yeah, that's the story. End of the story, and looks like Ilya. My congratulations to you. Where's the claps? Yeah. Finally. And finally appreciation. So you have 200 points because it was a hard case. And Marian, unfortunately, you have minus 100 points.
Yeah.
And
I still don't get how the point system works, but it's in your hands, Evgeny.
it's everything is okay. I know. You will win. Come on.
In the meantime, Evgeny is like minus 20 points for not understanding the point system.
Unfortunately, Ilya is my boss, so
minus 20 points for not understanding the point system. Minus 20,000 crowns from salary on Ilya's side.
No, a strong comeback. Yeah, right. That's true. And thank for your conversation in the comment section. Unfortunately, we cannot read everything, but yeah, I think it is really useful for everyone. And my suggestion to you, gentlemen, we have 30 minutes. So my suggestion to you, first of all, according to the latest researches, people cannot hold attention more than 40 minutes. So like we double this number. My suggestion to you is to rush through the rest of the cases, so no more than 10 minutes on the case. And I hope you're dear viewers with us. And sorry, I'm freezing a little bit. So Gil, it's your case.
Hit me.
Lightning
round. Let's do this. Let me put on my captain hat.
A platform to die.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So the case is, it's just a regular case, no special hidden secrets.
Ooh,
your team develops, your team develops components for other 20 teams. So it's a big company, and you're like a platform team. You're amid the active phase now, and you have multiple major components in development. The team, your team, receives tickets, requests with changes, improvements for the components, which you must respond. The team also receives the tech support requests in case there are bugs in the components. So like your platform team. The issue, other team members are upset. So just imagine there are 20 teams and they want something from you, some components. And they're upset because their components are developed such a slow pace. And the support is upset, of course, because the bugs are not fixed quickly enough. If you ask other teams to develop components, so just imagine you have 20 teams and you ask, okay, guys, if you need something from us, just develop it. If you ask other teams to develop components as they need by themselves, at the end of the day, you simply have single-use code that only suits one specific team. So they not think about platform. They just, okay, we need a component. We will contribute something that we need. On the other hand, if the teams don't use common components, so they like, okay, we will not use common components, you will get 20 different versions of like a contact picker or anything. Is the case clear?
I believe the question is between, do we develop everything or do we let them develop everything?
It's up to you. So the goal is, if 20 teams will develop something by themselves, you will have 20 different versions of common components because they don't think about platform. They just, okay, we will develop it by ourselves. And if you will develop everything by your own, you will be overwhelmed and yeah.
So in this case, I would actually flip this around. I would go and figure out with the team, how do we solve this? I mean, I assume that one of the easiest way, I would first of all take it to the team because they know the best. The team and the clients, in this case, the other 20 teams. But it seems that if we develop everything, the platform team will explode. And if the other teams develop everything, then there would be infinite bloat that would never end of dead, useless code that is horrible to maintain. So I would perhaps aim at the middle ground, where every team can develop their own utilities, but these utilities would need to be code reviewed and approved and accepted by the platform team, so that we can help train the external teams to basically think in a more multifunctional way, to think more about reusable components, to think more across the board, not just inside their own teams. I would also reach out to the Scrum Masters or managers or POs of those other teams and encourage them to think, all right, it's great that you want to use this component, but have you considered perhaps it would also benefit this team and this team and this team? Maybe talk to them, maybe work this out. I would focus on coordinating this effort rather than saying we will build everything or you will build everything. I will say we will help you build it in a way that benefits the entire company, not just create code that is single use and is dead next week.
Yeah, nice one.
And document everything, because there's one thing I've learned. It's like 6-year-old code with no documentation. Dear God.
Yeah, and Maria is asking, why do we have 8 rounds with 3 candidates? Well, because the funny answer is that because of the reasons, and serious answer is because we used to have 4 candidates, not candidates. I cannot say candidates, 4 contesters. Okay, Marian, what would be your approach in this case?
Actually, I like this question because we do have platform teams in Mews, so I know how to make that work. Speaking about the situation that you have, let's say, 10 of the teams which depend on the platform team itself, and everybody's saying, okay, my component is the most important to be developed. In the meantime, you have the support, you have bugs coming in, etc., and everybody's sort of discomfortable with the situation, right? So that's the situation. So what really helps here is to first of all agree on how much time do we want to allocate to resolve bugs and to help support. So it might be like, let's dedicate 15% of our capacity to resolving bugs, another 15 or 10% depends on the necessity here to support. So we are left with, let's say, 70% of capacity being worked on the features and components, right? And then that comes down to, what I read between the lines is that we are sort of missing the right level of transparency here. So we are missing the roadmap, the things about, why, the component of the team X won over of my component, and I'm on the team Y, right? So if there's going to be a clear message and picture about what's the stream of the components in terms of, for example, the roadmap which we want to implement, what are their, let's say, impacts and how they have won over the others, then that makes a level of transparency and clear picture. And people basically stop to argue in a negative way that the core team or the platform team has no time for me, because at the same time they might be able to see, because of due to the roadmap, the things which actually the core team is working on. So once again, to make things transparent and to sort of lock a certain amount or percentage, you might call it a swim line, to a specific team, and to come to an agreement there. So that's something what resolve this sort of situation, which I would say most of the companies are, I have to say.
Okay, Ilya, what will you say about that?
Hopefully I don't have 30 seconds left. So
No.
In my head, it's always I would call it a platform dilemma, because I've seen the other degree of that, when you have platform team that actually kind of shoves their service into the feature team without any consideration of whether it actually fits. Sharing just some personal experience with working in a portfolio company that has a lot of different products in the platform team. And to me, I think the big thing is kind of share your roadmaps. Tell product teams what your plans are and what you're doing, and so you could better align on when are you shipping the features that are connected with one with the platform components. And I think in my mind, maybe I'm speaking on the experience of the larger things like the whole ecom piece that is leveraged by 5 different products, for example. So, but if we're talking about the smaller increments, this is definitely again comes back to the roadmap and planning and transparency with all the product teams, and allocation. To resonate on Marian's point is allocation to kind of maintenance versus new development as well. So you kind of agree on that balance, and you can dial it up and down every quarter, for example, depending on what you see coming down the pipeline and what you're expected to deliver. So for me, it's the combination of being transparent and sharing your plans proactively, not waiting for the feature teams to come to you and ask you for something, and being able to dynamically adjust your priorities on new development versus maintenance of the components that you're running. So, and plus maintain and be useful, right? So again, I've experienced it once when the platform team kind of come up with concepts that are completely disconnected with what the real life usage would be, and that's basically that's another fail scenario that I'd love to avoid.
Okay, guys, we have a couple of answers from the team. So while I cannot speak English, come on, the tongue. While we are waiting for the results, you can vote, by the way. Evgeny is saying that Transform core team sleep in sort of open source sleep with the reviews and ability to anyone in the company to contribute. It will take some pressure and will allow core team to set some meetups for others. Okay, and
I like that.
Yeah, it is really good. And a comment from Achil that I'm a bit disappointed. I have expected more games around project management methodology and so on, but let's play with some technical emotional intelligence. Well, we will keep the feedback. We will post the feedback form, so your feedback is appreciated. But actually, it's on you guys, not on the MC, of course. The game itself, or the game itself, and the results of the. Where is the button? Round number 6, and I don't know how to solve this equation. So Marian and Gil,
a fight to the death, of course.
Of course. but it's current.
That also solves it. Somebody voting for Marian as well.
we cannot fight to death because if we fight to death in person, we will die because of the quarantine.
Oh right.
So,
yeah, it's illegal right now.
It's illegal to fight to death because you can catch COVID and die to death.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
And you should stay safe, people, and take care of yourself and the ones you love. Also, mention some more DevOps terminology so I'll have an excuse to drink.
Of course. Okay, let's stick to that. So Marian, you are number 1 here because no time to. And
okay. Thank you guys.
We will change the rules right now.
Ooh.
We will change the rules because we have 15 minutes. Yeah. So, and we have 2 more cases. So we will accept only fun and short answers.
Wow.
That's the
funniest answer wins?
Funniest answer wins.
Ooh. All right, let's do this.
Ilya, it's on you. This one
You
is
should have done this at the beginning and then switched to
I
that.
think so. Okay, the case number 6, gang of 4. The gang of 4. You are a new manager at an established team where people have been working together for 10 years. The 4 like erg seniors, like super seniors, are at the core of this team. They know the product like the palms of their hands since they've been developing it for the last 10 years. They give new management a kind of skeptical treatment. They have all previous managers lined up in framed photographs on the wall. And yeah, you can be one of them.
Wow.
There were a lot of them, of course. It is extremely difficult to make these guys move even a muscle. And the issue is, here is how the product used to be developed. One release every 6 months and slow pace, you understand it. One of the reasons for this was the distribution model. It used to be sold on compact discs. Such model is now obsolete, of course, so the management decided it's time for Scrum or Agile. Daily releases, continuous delivery. Seniors are not happy with such innovations and gang up on any new members. Any pressure, so you can say to them, hey guys, maybe like Scrum or something. They're saying in that case, we're gonna just get up and leave the team. And of course, they are super senior, so we don't want to lose them. And what would be your approach in that?
So I don't know if I can come up with anything funny besides like just giving them boxes and but on the like thinking about this, like I think if they were with the company for 10 years, like they've been part of it as a branch of a tree, and I don't probably I cannot come up with anything funny besides
Okay, you can stick to the series. Maybe we have some serious viewers.
maybe I'll initiate some funny thoughts with Marian and Gil after, but to me I think I would definitely work with these guys, and as a new manager will probably seriously consider kind of reassembling the team, mixing them up. They've been together for 10 years. And it's healthy to switch teams around, right? So getting them drunk is another option, and then kind of filming them and then extracting them later. So that's another option that we can take. But really this unit would need to be kind of broken out into separate teams, and keeping the film behind, in the pocket. That's probably that's the short version. Keeping being mindful of time. So
yeah, Marian, Gil, pardon, what would be your answer? Yeah.
So I can't decide between one of. I mean, now that the comments have suggested taking them all out for a lot of drinks, then maybe, but I can't decide between mud wrestling and like the winner will get to decide what's up. Taking them all on paintball and, the winner gets to call all the shots once every 2 weeks. And the fact, I've been to the army for 3 years, so but I think my favorite solution by far, now that I'm thinking about it, would be to explain them, oh, no, I'm sorry, you misunderstood. It's not Scrum as in the Agile thing. It's Scrum as in rugby. So here are your pads and let's go. And we'll just roll with that.
Okay, Marian, what do you think?
Yeah, to put it on a more funny yet realistic note, I was thinking about, as you were saying, I can imagine a line of the pictures of the former managers which they went through. So I will just add yet another 4 pictures of these seniors guys to make them think around. And it works.
Yeah.
A picture of everyone together, you and the new team. That would send a good solid message of solidarity, not just heads of the walls.
You got the message, right?
Yeah, the test of their medicine. Well, let's vote, guys. Where is the voting panel? Voting panel should be here. Yeah, and I have another sounds like a, but it's kind of not. Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. And round number 7.
Ooh.
Yeah, looks like Marian, you got the first spot.
Yeah,
Oh,
we should
well
we should change the rules.
Yeah.
And yeah, looks like that's it. Gil, you are number 2, unfortunately, but number 2 is good.
A solid number 2. Not
Yeah,
bad.
solid number 2. And Ilya, I'm terribly sorry, but it's the audience. They like, you know,
It's
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mhm.
not mature enough. I think they are. And okay, the last one. The
Last one.
Last one. So it's to one. To whom? I lost. Marian, you?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
Marian, you.
I've
Okay.
lost track. The people
It's
at
okay.
home, who's next?
Come-
You guys have been following this.
Yeah. I hope so because
I really hope.
okay, Marian, this one is for you. And where is the drum roll?
Yeah.
The quick win. Yeah, the quick
Nice.
win. We have 9 minutes. The quick
Let's do
win.
this.
The team has a legacy feature. The team lead insists it should be moved to a new stack. But it's a matter of 2 or 3 sprints. Product owner thinks that there is no value in this because, like, come on, nothing. We will not add anything to the feature. Not performance, visually nothing will change, just new stack. But out of nowhere, vice president of product steps up with the quick win idea. Let's add extra functionality to our legacy feature to help us conquer new markets. So it was a legacy feature, nothing changed there. And team lead said that, hey, maybe change the stack and rewrite it, whatever. And the issue is, so team lead doesn't want to fit new functionality into the legacy code because I told ya. The rest of the devs are very upset with the prospect of fiddling with the legacy stack. And the team lead suggests the devs, okay, let's rewrite everything from scratch, add a new feature there, but it's 2, 3, maybe 4 sprints of work. Product owner wants to solve, like, come on, if it's 2 or 3 sprints, it is not a quick win anymore. And product owner also doesn't understand why insist on refactoring. And team lead says, we do this feature this one time, and of course, believe me, you will come back again because it's a quick win. Let's add more to this old stack.
Yeah, that's a nice story. Everybody knows.
And you can
My
again
experience.
you can choose any side you want, like a team lead. So you want to as a team
So-
lead, you want to
right.
rewrite everything.
So
Product
to
owner,
me, it's very simple. I'm gonna go with the product owner because that's the guy who usually has tight bounds with the VP of product. And first of all, I would basically question why VP of product is the one who is saying like in which way, meaning technically, we should be adding the new features, right? So I would challenge the VP of product the way like why is it him who makes these sort of decisions? Because it should be really upon the team to deal with the technical aspect of things. And the second thing is to really make sure that in terms of the legacy, I would definitely like go with the solution of even either making some sort of sub team or providing some ratio or percentage of the team to be dedicated towards the new era of the stack. So this sort of combination of things could work in general. Sorry to make it longer. To the others.
Okay, Ilya, what do you think about the case?
Okay, so we're serious now. Cool.
I don't know.
We are not. It's up to you to make a joke now.
No. That's to be honest. The from a product perspective, like I know that it's difficult for sometimes you're tempted as a VP of product to come in and just change things around, and that's definitely product. But speaking probably on behalf of a team lead and defending the position and or trying to find a compromise, right? So like not really defending the team or product is I would probably besides taking everybody for a drink, but I would let me think for a sec. All right, so I would, depending on, I would try to understand how long is this feature is long lived for or not, like, and bring that context back to the team because there's obviously some huge disconnect about like what we're trying to achieve within this given piece of functionality as a business, and then let have the team after having having this context go for this whether it's a compromise and then but ensuring that we plan for the refactor and understanding that making sure that product understands the value of refactoring because of making sure that product understands the value of refactoring later, but if there's a quick win that can be done in half of the sprint, I'd go for it now. And then maybe there's again fantasizing here, but maybe this quick win is not a quick win. It has not been validated. So you quickly test it on an old code base, but then you get a buy-in to kind of iterate further if there will be a need for it and invest more time into it. So that's probably my not so funny answer.
It's totally okay because we have one funny one
Hopefully
joke here.
Hopefully Gil will make it up for us and we'll come up with a joke.
Yeah, Gil is the spotlight is on you. Yeah.
No pressure, but it's basically like, right, we've given our serious answers, so now Gil, do the funnies.
It should be the funniest answer here, the funniest joke of the century.
All right, so I'll answer I will answer the question and then I'll follow it up with the stupidest joke I know. So it's a bit of both worlds. So I'm always a proponent for trying small new things and experimenting. So saying if we always stick to the old stack and if we always say, just this tiny thing, this tiny thing, there's nothing more permanent than a temporary fix. And if we always say, I don't know, just this one, and then we can do things, we're never going to try new things and we're never going to try and modernize our stack or our code. And we will wind up in a few years with very old, very outdated code that it's filled with patches, just small wins here and there. And it's horrible to maintain. And long term, it's kind of, it works against you because you will wind up with a code base that you can no longer push for quick wins because you rely on this one person who's been in the team for 10 years and knows all these things back, but you don't have any new people who can work with this, and you are down to relying on this. You're stuck, you're bound by legacy code, and you're chained to your decisions 10 years ago. So I'm always up for experimenting with new technologies and new stacks, however, within reason. So if it's one sprint to deliver it in the old stack and 7 to deliver it in the new stack, maybe not. But if we can deliver a smaller version of this quick win in 1 or 2 sprints in the new stack, then let's try that. See if this quick win is actually a win, like you guys have mentioned. And if it is, then iterate on it and build something bigger and build something better that would actually serve that customer rather than doing something, at a guess. So that's the serious answer. And now for the stupidest joke I know, brought to you by my brother, who is a dad for 3 kids. So therefore his dad joke game is 100%. How do you go? Yes. Do you know what the difference is between roast beef and pea soup? Anyone can roast beef. Wow, that's the first time I had a laugh track. I need this for my meetings. Thank you very much.
No. Actually, I messed.
No.
with the
I'm
button.
going
I
with
messed
this.
with the
Don't go with
buttons.
the what.
That's the right one. Okay.
Perfect.
The quick voting, but quick voting for you. But actually, I think we all know who will win here.
Nobody's voting.
No, they are voting, so we should wait. And of course, we should hide it, not to mess with the people. But why not? And meanwhile, what do you guys think about the format? Shall we continue? Because frankly speaking, we have not 8 cases, we have 16 cases. Continue not today, of course, but maybe make it next month, next 2 months.
I'm on board. In fact, it would be great if the people who are watching this can suggest the case studies as situations from that they see in their companies. And we can even have, a rotating number 4. Somebody from the viewers who would join us and also join the games and join the festivities.
Yeah. Then people can suggest their cases. Then we will make it paid, so we can get some money out of it. And it would be some kind of like.
Yes, I like how you're thinking. It makes my inner Jewish
And
person
3 dots
happy.
with profit.
Yeah. So looks like we have parity here, and well, actually, I don't know. We need some. Why not like this? 50 here, maybe 50, and okay, 300 here. It's just a rule, guys. Last round is like this. It's always like this. No, I messed.
You messed up, but I'm sorry, it's too late now. Don't I
Yeah,
get
it's
like
too
a
late.
plus 10 for the joke? What?
Of course. Yeah, as you wish.
Yeah.
And-
Ooh, yes.
And the winner is here is Scrum. Thanks Agile for 20 years of being with us, and thank you, dear viewers, to stay with us for 2 hours. Maybe it was a bit too long, just a little bit, but what a company! What a company! Thank you, Ilya. Thanks, Ilya, Vice President of Engineering at Wrike. You can say a couple of words because I will mention everyone, not only you.
Right. Okay. Sorry. I've been the 2 hours of the exciting talks about the Agile kind of blew my mind off.
Agile does that.
Yeah. Well, Evgeny, thanks. This I came here completely not knowing. So I did not know. Even we work with Evgeny, I had no clue what it would look like. So thank you for creating this awesome event, and it's been a true pleasure. And hopefully, folks on this conference video thing broadcast had learned something, or at least had a laugh or two. So, and again, pleasure to see. Great to meet Gil, Marian, you guys. It's
Pleasure
been
was
amazing.
all ours.
So hopefully we'll do it again.
I
Thank
would
you.
really look forward to it.
Thank
If
you,
I may
yeah.
just address one thing from our viewers, because Simona and Yona have raised it, and it's an important thing. The 4th member was supposed to be a girl Scrum Master. She was, I would argue, the best of us, but due to health concerns, she couldn't attend today, and that made all of us very sad. So we really hope to see her here next time, and if she can't join us in the future, we will be very happy to see you here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gil. Maybe you can be next Master of Ceremony here.
Oh, no. You're doing a much better job at this than I am. You're doing it much better than me.
Thank you, Gil. Gil, Engineering Manager at Socialbakers. And Marian, Vice President of Engineering at Mews. Mews and Wrike One Love. I love you guys. This is, by the way, Korean...
Korean Hearts.
Yeah.
There it is.
Thank you, dear viewers. It was a pleasure to have you here, and stay on our channels, and bye-bye.
That's why I will never be as good as you.